So unfortunately, the opposition, they have lost all the two by-election for the constituency levels at the member of parliament in both Malava and Mbeere North constituencies. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, the ODM has also won the Kaspul by-election to their candidate Boyd Were has been elected as the MP elect in that constituency. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you the exact figures on how the people voted in these constituencies, the three constituencies, that's Mbeere North, Kaspul, and of course, Malava constituency. These are the exact figures. Remember that Mbeere North is one of the constituencies that have pulled a greater fight between the opposition and the UDA that was between Rigathi Gachagua and Kithure Kindiki, but of course the opposition has lost in that constituencies. And the exact numbers we've got from these constituencies that Wamtende, the one who was the UDA candidate, Leonard Wamtende has garnered 15,802 votes, 15,802 votes, while Karish, who was the opposition candidate, the one that Rigathi Gachagua has been campaigning for in this region, just lost with a margin of 500, getting 15,302. You can see that between Leonard Wamtende and Karish, it's just a difference of 500 votes that caused that lose to the opposition losing that seat. But of course, as I've said, UDA has emerged victorious in that constituencies. And one thing to note down that the third candidate, who is the CCK, Chama Chakazi, I think that's the party whose party leader is Moses Kuria, came third with 2,480 votes. 2,480 votes. That is also a good margin that if the CCK could have sided with either side, it could have either made Karish to win or could have extended the win over Wamtende. If CCK could have sided with UDA, then if CCK could have sided with the opposition, it was clear that the opposition could have won this seat because their candidate of CCK has got 2,480 votes. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Wamtende 15,802 votes, Karish 15,308 votes, and there the opposition loses to UDA. Now, the second seat I want to talk about is what's happened in Malava constituencies, where David Ndakwa, the UDA aspirant, has won that post and has been declared the MP elect for Malava constituency with getting 21,476 votes. While he said Panyako, the DAPK candidate, who was the opposition candidate, we saw the entire opposition team go to the Western region to campaign for him, but they have lost. The DAPK candidate has lost to the UDA candidate, Seth Panyako, getting 20,418 votes against the winner of that seat of the UDA candidate, who got 21,476 votes. As of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can also note the opposition has also lost that seat with just a difference of about 1,000 votes. You can see how highly contested these by-elections were, and that's why the opposition is has lost the seats with a very narrow margin in both the Mbeere North and the Malava constituencies. For those who had interest in what was happening in Kaspul, ODM Boyd were much victorious, getting 16,818 votes. This really shows how ODM is still in control of its bedroom. That's what they call the Baba Raila Odinga's bedroom. And the Boyd were ODM aspirants who was picked or nominated after his father died after some months ago. Boyd Were got 16,819 votes, while the candidate who seemed to be the independent candidate, Philip Aroko, the Otete man, who he thought was going to pull a high contest, came second with 8,476 votes. Ladies and gentlemen, know that that's a very huge margin. About another half a margin, that's about another 8,000 votes loose margin, and it shows you that the people of Kaspul are really behind the ODM party. But of course, it's also a good move for Boyd Were, coming that close with with just being an independent country without a party. And you saw what happened in Kaspul, where a lot of people lost their lives. And congratulations to Boyd Were for winning the Kaspul member of parliament. Listen, you can note that it's really an heartbreaking news to the opposition, especially in Mbeere North. Rigathi Gachagua has camped there for it, camped there in Mbeere North for a good number of days. We saw Justin Muturi camping there for a good number of days. Now this means that they have to go back to the drawing board, and of course strategize on how to try and gain the people and put the people together for the opposition to get those votes come 2027. Of course, what we expect from right now is that UDA will really take advantage of these results to campaign in the Mount Kenya East and say that their candidate won, and they expect that in 2027 they are going to vote for President Ruto, because this is the pointer of the entire campaigns we've seen. And of course, if you note that there was a lot of funds that were invested in these campaigns. We saw the other day Rigathi Gachagua saying that about 800 million was just, that was a mere quote, that 800 million had been invested by government to support the UDA candidate who has won. But ladies and gentlemen, what you can also note from this contest, that this was just a single by-election. I don't believe this is going to happen in 2027, because the entire nation will be in elections, and this amount of funds cannot be put in one constituency. And that's why in 2027 we are going to maybe if Newton Karish is going to be maintained as the aspirant of this constituency, there's an higher chance that he can pull a comeback, because the amount of resources and funds are not going to be invested. And remember that the UDA candidate has just won with a 500. It's 500 votes, not even 500. That's about very few, 494 votes. That's a very narrow margin, 494 votes, which can be changed in 2027. And so it's really an uphill task. But as for now, the UDA aspirants have won both in Malava constituency and also in Mbeere North. And we'll be waiting to hear what the opposition, Rigathi Gachagua, JB Muturi, will be saying. Any allegation of rigging, or whether there will be a claim of that, because they already seen a post of JB Muturi questioning some that form that through his handle. But we'll be waiting for an official statement from the opposition regarding the contest of these two constituencies, because here is where there was a greater pull between both the government and the opposition. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Stay safe whenever you are. We meet next time. And remember to send a comment, subscribe, and also drop a comment in the comment section. Have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen.